we're excited. Today's our big day. It is our One School, One Book reveal. Well, let me tell you exactly what that means, because we've got our second grade students haven't done this before, and our third and fourth have. Our One School, One Book is where, as a whole school, over the next few weeks, we're going to read the same book together. And guess what? Each one of you is going to get your own copy of the book today. Okay? So everybody here will have your very own book that you get to keep. Okay? And so today's the big day where we reveal the title of our book. And I'm guessing you noticed that there were some clues around the building. Yeah, I guess that's why I'm dressed up like this for the book reveal. Okay, I just thought I was going to wear it just randomly. So, there's a few things we need to do before we get to the big book reveal, okay? First, it takes a lot of people to put this together, to get all the decorations and the books and all of that. So we've had some people in our community sponsor One School, One Book, which means they donated money to help us get our books. So we want to give a shout out to our Rochester Rotary Club, RTC TV, Barkman's Optimist Bunch, the Rochester Lions Club, Women of the Moose, Tri Kappa, Women's Giving Circle, and Arnold and Laura Snipes. So as a Riddle family, let's give them a round of applause. Okay, next, I'm sure you've noticed all the hallways. All right? Who do you think decorated those hallways? Teachers. All your teachers worked on this, and all the instructional assistants came over during their spring break to make our school look so fabulous. How about a round of applause for our teachers? Okay, time to get down to business. Now, first, I was told that before we do the book reveal, this kind of goes with the book a little bit, but I need to put in some new rules for Riddle. And I know we don't like to talk about rules. It can be kind of a downer, but let's just get through this part first, okay? So these rules will be in place while we're doing the One School, One Book, okay? So let me get those pulled up for you. Here. I know. Whoa. Hey, tough crowd. All right. Okay, hit up a level zero. Okay, so the first new rule that we're going to have to abide by for the next few weeks, students must write their name upside down on your papers. So make sure you do that, okay? Next rule. Recess will be spent mowing grass, cleaning bathrooms, and giving high fives. Here's our next rule. You must bow or curtsy when greeting your teachers. This next rule might be my favorite here. Every time you enter school, one must say, "Riddle, riddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon." Okay, and our last rule, this one's dear to my heart. Okay, the only clothes allowed are those that celebrate our zebra herd or the Chicago Bears. these out to your parents so they can go over them with you at home. You can have I'll get it posted on the school website. All right. Let's do a level 0 again. Now is the time for the book reveal. So, it's going to be important. I know we're going to be really, really excited. Stay at a level 0 because I'm going to play a video that'll tell us what our book is, okay? And then, are we ready? Okay. Level 0. Oh. And we're going to take a look at the first couple of chapters together.
David!
Looks like we all have a copy of our books, and you'll notice on the front, Mrs. Schaefer and Mrs. Kimmel worked really hard making sure all your names were on there, okay? So that way you know which book is yours. So if you see Mrs. Schaefer and Mrs. Kimmel throughout the day, make sure to thank them. That was a lot of work they took to do that for you, okay? So, something that goes along with One School, One Book is RTC helped us with creating videos for each chapter. So someone from Rochester, you can click on this video YouTube link, and someone from Rochester will be reading the chapters, okay? The first couple of chapters, this guy's gonna be reading, all right? And then after that, there'll be some surprise guests. Should we read the first few chapters together? Yeah! Okay, so how about we all get ready, okay? And we need to stay quiet so we can hear, okay? And let's get our books ready, okay?
Today's broadcast on the IHSAA Champions Network is presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Hi friends, Mr. Bernanke here. We're going to start with One Book. This year's title is The Tale of Despero. Our author is Kate DiCamillo, and it's illustrated by Timothy Basil Erie. Okay, looks exciting. Like there's a note from our author. It says, the world is dark and light is precious. Come closer, dear reader. You must trust me. I am telling you the story. The first book, A Mouse is Born. Chapter 1, the last one. This story begins within the walls of a castle with the birth of a mouse, a small mouse, the last mouse born to his parents, and the only one of his litter to be born alive. Where are my babies? Said the exhausted mother when the ordeal was through. Show me to my babies. The father mouse held the one small mouse up high. There is only this one, he said. The others are dead. Mon Dieu, just the one baby? Just the one. Will you name him? All of that work for nothing? Said the mother. She sighed. It is so sad. It is such a disappointment. She was a French mouse who had arrived at the castle long ago in the luggage of a visiting French diplomat. Disappointment was one of her favorite words. She used it often. Will you name him? Repeated the father. Will I name him? Will I name him? Of course I will name him. But he will only die like the others. So sad. Oh, such a tragedy. The mouse mother held a handkerchief to her nose and then waved it in front of her face. She sniffed. I will name him, yes. I will name this mouse Despero. For all the sadness, for the many despairs in this place. Now, where is my mirror? Her husband handed her a small shard of mirror. The mouse mother, whose name was Antoinette, looked at her reflection and gasped aloud. Tolise, she said to one of her sons, get for me my makeup bag. My eyes are a fright. While Antoinette touched up her eye makeup, the mouse father put Despero down on a bed made of blanket scraps. The April sun, weak but determined, shone through a castle window, and from there squeezed itself through a small hole in the wall and placed one golden finger on the little mouse. The other, older mice children gathered around to stare at Despero.
His ears are too big, said his sister Merlot. Those are the biggest ears I've ever seen. Look, said a brother named Furlough. His eyes are open. Pa, his eyes are open. They shouldn't be open. It is true. Despero's eyes should not have been open, but they were. He was staring at the sun reflecting off his mother's mirror. The light was shining onto the ceiling in an oval of brilliance, and he was smiling up at the sight. There's something wrong with him, said the father. Leave him alone. Despero's brothers and sisters stepped back, away from the new mouse. This is the last, proclaimed Antoinette from her bed. I will have no more mice babies. They are such the disappointment. They are hard on my beauty. They ruin for me my looks. This is the last one, no more. The last one, said the father, and he'll be dead soon. He can't live, not with his eyes open like that. But reader, he did live. This is his story. Chapter 2, Such a Disappointment. Despero Tilling lived, but his existence was cause for much speculation in the mouse community. He's the smallest mouse I've ever seen, said his Aunt Florence. It's ridiculous. No mouse has ever been this small, not even a Tilling. She looked at Despero through narrowed eyes as if she expected him to disappear entirely. No mouse, she said again, ever. Despero, his tail wrapped around his feet, stared back at her. Those are some big ears he's got too, observed his Uncle Alfred. They look more like donkey ears, if you ask me. They are obscenely large ears, said Aunt Florence. Despero wiggled his ears. His Aunt Florence gasped. They say he was born with his eyes open, whispered Uncle Alfred. Despero stared hard at his uncle. Impossible, said Aunt Florence. No mouse, no matter how small or obscenely large ear, is ever born with his eyes open. It simply isn't done. His pa, Lester, says he's not well, said Uncle Alfred. Despero sneezed. He said nothing in defense of himself. How could he? Everything his aunt and uncle said was true. He was ridiculously small. His ears were obscenely large. He had been born with his eyes open. And he was sickly. He coughed and sneezed so often that he carried a handkerchief in one paw at all times. He ran temperatures. He fainted at loud noises. Most alarming of all, he showed no interest in the things a mouse should show interest in. He did not think constantly of food. He was not intent on tracking down every crumb. While his larger, older siblings ate, Despero stood with his head cocked to one side, holding very still. Do you hear that sweet, sweet sound? He said. I hear the sound of cake crumbs falling out of people's mouths and hitting the floor, said his brother Toulouse. That's what I hear. No, said Despero. It's something else. It sounds like honey. You might have big ears, said Toulouse, but they're not attached right to your brain. You don't hear honey. You smell honey. When there's honey to smell, which there isn't. Son, barked Despero's father, snap to it. Get your head out of the clouds and hunt for crumbs. Please, said his mother, look for the crumbs. Eat them to make your mama happy. You are such the skinny mouse. You are a disappointment to your mama. Sorry, said Despero. He lowered his head and sniffed the castle floor. But reader, he was not smelling. He was listening with his big ears to the sweet sound that no other mouse seemed to hear. Chapter 3, Once Upon a Time. Despero's siblings tried to educate him in the ways of being a mouse. His brother Furlough took him on a tour of the castle to demonstrate the art of scurrying. Move side to side, instructed Furlow, scrabbling across the wax castle floor. Look over your shoulder, all the time, first to the right, then to the left. Don't stop for anything. But Despero wasn't listening to Furlow. He was staring at the light pouring in through the stained glass windows of the castle. He stood on his hind legs and held his handkerchief over his heart and stared up into the brilliant light. Furlow, he said, what is this thing? What are all these colors? Are we in heaven? Cripes, shouted Furlow from a far corner. Don't stand there in the middle of the floor talking about heaven. Move! You're a mouse, not a man. You've got to scurry. What? Said Despero, still staring at the light. But Furlow was gone. He had, like a good mouse, disappeared into a hole in the molding. Despero's sister, Merlot, took him into the castle library where light came streaming in through tall, high windows and landed on the floor in bright yellow patches. Here, said Merlot, follow me, small brother, and I will instruct you on the fine points of how to nibble paper. Merlot scurried up a chair and from there hopped onto a table on which there sat a huge, open book. This way, small brother, she said as she crawled onto the pages of the book, and Despero followed her from the chair to the table to the page. Now then, said Merlot, this glue here is tasty, and the paper edges are crunchy and yummy, like so. She nibbled the edge of a page and then looked over at Despero. You try, she said. First a bite of some glue, and then follow it with the crunch of the paper. And those squiggles, they are very tasty. Despero looked down at the book, and something remarkable happened. The marks on the pages, the squiggles, as Merlot referred to them, arranged themselves into shapes. The shapes arranged themselves into words, and the words spelled out a delicious and wonderful phrase. Once upon a time. Once upon a time, whispered Despero. What? Said Merlot. Nothing. Eat, said Merlot. I couldn't possibly, said Despero, backing away from the book. Oh, said Despero, it would ruin the story. The story? What story? Merlot stared at him. A piece of paper trembled at the end of one of her indignant whiskers. It's just like Pa said when you were born. Something is not right with you. She turned and scurried from the library to tell her parents about this latest disappointment. Despero waited until she was gone, and then he reached out and with one paw touched the lovely words. Once upon a time. He shivered, he sneezed, he blew his nose into his handkerchief. Once upon a time, he said aloud, relishing the sound, and then tracing each word with his paw, he read the story of a beautiful princess and a brave knight who serves and honors her. Despero did not know it, but he would need very soon to be brave himself. Have I mentioned that beneath the castle there was a dungeon? In the dungeon there were rats, large rats, mean rats. Despero was destined to meet those rats. Reader, you must know that an interesting fate, sometimes involving rats, sometimes not, awaits almost everyone, mouse or man, who does not conform.
That should be better. All right, sorry, I had to turn it up for the video. Those were the first 3 chapters of our book, okay? How about a little round of applause for all that came together? All right. So, your teachers will talk to you. We'll get a link sent home so you can have those videos or you can read it on your own. There's a reading schedule, and listen to the announcements as we'll have some trivia questions over the book. Okay? Just like we do Riddle on Thursday, every day instead we'll be doing questions over the book for you to submit into the basket. All right? So that is the end of our one school, one book reveal. Thank you so much for coming down this morning, and have a great day, friends.